What's up, everybody? This is your girl Ericka from the Classic Line blog. If you can hear me, see me, put a 1 in the comments and drop your city and state in the chat. This is gonna be a doozy. Now, you may see the thumbnail; it's a little eccentric, but I want to make it very clear. I spent earlier today watching. I just fell into a loop on YouTube and Instagram, mostly YouTube Shorts, where basically people who are Uber drivers and Lyft drivers delivering food, not people in the car, but delivering food, were being attempted to be robbed in Philadelphia, in California, all over the place, Florida, and they were shooting people. Okay. And the crazy thing about it is, literally, everybody had these ring cameras. There's a ring camera on this porch and that porch. So thank God, one, they have a ring camera vouching what happened to them, and two, it's going to be that season where you think you're going to hit a quick, like you're going to rob somebody, you're going to steal their car. No, people that are delivering food all day or their car is their life, as we're seeing for some people, they're not going to let you run off with their car. They're not going to let you come and get them. The smash and grab days that people think is easy lit pickings are over. People are aware. Okay. Now, another thing on that is, there was like 80 people who ran into a Nordstrom's and robbed the place. Now here's twofold. Here's the problem. California made it some law. If it's under $900, we don't have time to send the police out. Now I'm gonna give it to them. It's hard to send the police out for, there's robberies going all over the city. It's hard to send the police out. I get it, right? They're trying to. When I worked at Lowe's as manager over a department, honey, and they had cameras everywhere. Police even set up a little thing out front to take the picture as they went out the store. They were like, we don't have time to sit at Lowe's all day and arrest people coming out all day, robbing that got pockets full of stuff, right? Our job at the store was just hey, sir, would you like us to help you ring up some of that stuff? Would you like us to? And of course, we couldn't harass the person. And so you got these grown people with giant saggy pants on, waddling out the store with parts and all kind of stuff in their pants. It was just the saddest thing you've ever seen in your life. Of course, this led to a lot of the gift card issues. I don't know if anybody remember kind of the gift card craze, maybe about 4 years ago. About 4 years ago, that's when you started seeing the pushback from manufactured spend, because the criminals were over here stealing all this stuff from Home Depot, Lowe's all day, and restaurants and stores, mostly stores, and then they would get it, a credit, right? Because we couldn't say, hey man, you stole that thing. We knew they stole it, but we couldn't say it, right? So then we'd have to give them a credit. Well, then the thugs, or what we would call, the blue collar criminals, would take the gift card and sell it online. Well, who was on the other end doing something not illegal, but doing something similar? It was the manufacturer spin crowd. This is why the whole credit card channels have died down, right? People think they're still booming. No. Let's dissect that. A lot of the credit card channels were getting people to do manufacturer spin. If you don't know what manufacturer spin is where I take this credit card, and I got 20K on this credit card. And I can't turn it into cash unless I do what? Go buy gift cards, go buy other things that I can then turn into cash. That's the long and the short answer. Those worlds crossed each other. Essentially, the Lowe's, the stores, the credit card, the Amexes are like, that's enough. Okay, that's enough. Chill out. And they started flagging people. You started not being able to do over $200 at Walmart, $300 at Walmart. Different things were happening. You couldn't buy more than 3 gift cards or 2. I remember buying a gift card one time and they looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, I'm buying one $100 gift card. Are you kidding me? And so the time people were spending running around for these credit cards, I thought that would be insane. Why would someone spend hours in their day running around getting gift cards and doing all this stuff? But that is their job. They've made it their job. Okay. Prime example, there were 3 Vietnamese folks going up and down Texas. You can find this newspaper article if you look. It's like 3 Vietnamese folks, a woman and 2 men. They were literally going to Lowe's and Home Depot and all the different stores and doing that very thing. Stealing or taking credit cards and buying all these gift cards. And, when they caught them, they had a trunk full of gift cards. They were going to turn into cash. Now, they had put it on your mind that it's all these white and black people still. It was Asians, it was Hispanics, it was everybody, right? There's no face of a criminal, right? I did the whole video where I showed you the mom and son in Houston still in luxury cars were Asian, right? So a part of what's the problem is we've been hearing this stuff happening in the news. This has been trickling for years at this point. I mean, I think some of the peak of this is 2015. This is when, and I'm gonna blame California, I'm sorry. I feel like a bulk of people left California for Colorado and Texas and Florida, and it wasn't the greatest of people. There was some good people that left California, but it was some extra sketchy folks. So people in these other states that were not used to this were getting a wide awakening of it, right? So that leads to, and I'm going somewhere with this. I know I'm going on a rabbit. When they couldn't do the credit card stuff, when they couldn't do the gift card stuff, when they couldn't do the easy crime, what does that lead them back to? Online crime, stealing your credit card information online, skimming the gas pumps. And then it leads the lower level guy or girl who isn't smart enough to do the internet stuff to go back to what? Smash and grab. I see you have something. I'm going to smash it. I'm going to grab it. In Hutto, they had 5 white guys in one of those vans. We call the sketchy vans, right? Work vans. It's work van or it's a sketchy van, depending on how you use it. Or you live in the van, one of the two, one of the three. They were going around breaking into cars. But what they did is they would pull the door handle to see if it was unlocked. And they broke through 94 cars that night. So first thing people think is, well, they had to break all these windows. No, a majority of these cars were left unlocked because people get complacent and think, well, the car's at my house. I'm in a great neighborhood. It's safe over here. I got a Ring camera. And they forgot the first rule of safety, right? Now, I got into a kind of a disagreement with one of my friends, and I mean no disrespect to her, and she means no disrespect to me, but she's like, yeah, we need more cops. Yeah, more cops. And there's article after article that shows you more cops doesn't solve that problem. Article after article. It doesn't matter if you have more cops. Cops don't prevent crime. They respond to it. Okay, let me say it again. They don't prevent it. They can't stop. They can't jump in front of a robbery. They can't jump in front of a bullet. Okay, but they can respond to the crime. Who is the first line of defense? It's you. Now you're gonna say, well, Ericka, man, you're going in on these criminals. But this is what I want you to understand. You have people who are doing low-level petty theft stuff. And let's go there. We've always had them stealing copper out of houses, stealing packages off porches. And so now we're making all these laws. Okay, porch pirate, you're going to jail for 10 years. You got to pay all this fine. You're going to do all this stuff. We're making all these laws. But eventually what's going to happen? We're going to have just a swoop of people going back to jail. We're going to have a big swath of people going back to jail. Okay? So I want to start this one off like this because when you say, Ericka, why do you keep saying, to me in my mind right now, there's 3 ways to improve your financial situation. And I think someone asked me to remake a video that I made a couple years ago. I may try again. One, it's tech. It's going on here. You don't have to go to a college. It's finding a course or some way to get your foot in the door and get your foot in the door. Tech. Now you're talking about $85,000, $100,000, $150,000. Okay. Your next one is trades. It's responding to some of these ads out here that painters, electricians, plumbers, all these guys. Hey, man, I want to be an apprentice. How much can I work for you? Well, Ericka, they only pay 18 to 20. Honey, that's what your skills are worth right now. Until you can learn how he does what he does and follow him around and get more skills, that's your answer. Or go to HVAC school, community college, one of those things, right? Third is start a business. But there's a temperament that is necessary when you start a business. You have to learn business is seasonal. That you'll have a 10K month and a 30K month, a 100K month and a 30K month. And they don't stay consistent sometimes. But you don't lose your brain, right? You don't go crazy. Those are really the truly three pathways. Now, you're going to say, well, Ericka, you just talked about crime. You talked about the 3 pathways. Why? Why should I care? Listen, the average American is being priced out of society. So those people I just talked to you about, The people that are like, you know what, I'll just go do crime. I'll go steal packages, I'll do shady stuff. Which, let's be very clear, if you're out here in these soft underbelly places, or you're looking for sugar babies, or you're doing all this silly stuff, you're opening the door to being robbed. That's all you're doing. I mean, you're seriously opening the door to be robbed, honestly. Okay. Um, and opening sketchy people to your life. That's one. Two, the average person is being priced out of society. How do I know? You know, I see the rise in, when I go on YouTube, scavenger businesses. What are scavenger businesses? Towing, bail bondsman, how to be a bail bondsman, I'm gonna chase people like Dog the Bounty Hunter. You know, I'm a resell. I'm gonna get something off Craigslist and resell it for $200 more. Okay, all day and night. That's what you're gonna do? Run around grabbing stuff and getting $200 off of it? Those are scavenger businesses. That's not consistent. Those are seasonal as well, right? So if the average American's walking around with 40K in their pocket, and I said this last night on Diamond Dave's live stream, I was on somebody else's, Kevin Samuel, somebody else's too. But essentially, if you're making 40K by yourself and you got a nice car, let's go ahead and break that down, right? 40K divided by 12, because we're being gracious. We know 76 million Americans make 30K, but we're gonna be, for the sake of argument, because people like trying to walk this line that everybody's out here making 40K. So let's say 40K. 40K divided by 12 months is 3,300. Let's divide that by 2 paychecks. That's 1,600 per paycheck. So okay, let's go ahead and say your rent is 1,300, and your utilities, lights, and food. That's one paycheck gone. So now let's get you down to the other part of your paycheck, 1,600. Okay, so we don't pay for your rent, we pay for your food, we pay for your lights, but now we're at this 1,600. Well, a lot of y'all got student loan debt. You don't pay it, but it's about 300 a month. Let's minus 300 off that. Okay, because we didn't even take taxes off that check. Y'all see that, right? We didn't even take taxes, so we're gonna keep going though. All right. Well, I want a nice car, Ericka. Okay, cool. Average car, new car loan. Go look this up. Don't take my word. Is $546 a month. So old boy or girl got a $546 a month car payment. Now they got $820 left over. Okay, out of that $820, let's go ahead and take another $200 for physical damage and liability on that car. Okay, now they're down to $600. Let's divide that 600 by 30 days. They got $20 a day to live on. Do you think that's middle class? Do you think that's middle class? Ericka, but my apartment's cheaper. It doesn't matter. Do you think that's middle class? If that's the average American, and we're being generous, we gave them 40K a year. Let's really be honest and do 76 million Americans make $30,500 a year. So let's go ahead and divide that by 12. That's $2,500 a month divided by 2 paychecks. That's 1,270. That's why when I interview people, and even when I have American VAs who are like, "Oh, I need $2,000." You need a full-time job income, then I'm gonna need full-time job work out of you. I'm gonna need an email every day. I'm gonna need work every day. I'm gonna need something every day out of you. You're not gonna be an American VA and get full-time pay. You're just not. You're not. Sorry. I've got guys who, a 2-man team coming, who gonna charge $6K a month to do so many things. And that's the price of a full-time employee most people would have in a company. So what you're going to start seeing, and when you talk about the average American, people say, "Oh, people aren't getting married anymore. They're not doing this." And I said, listen, financially, it won't make sense. Hyperinflation will be so bad that they will. It's a math problem. It happens in every society. It's a math problem. You already see women moving into houses together with their kids because the only way they can afford to stay in certain areas. You see big swatches of Black people have just given up on Miami. Oh, I live in Fort Lauderdale. I live up here. I live way an hour and 30 minutes away because it's bad down there. It's not bad. It's bad if you have to live in a bad area. It's bad when the rent for the high rise I wanted to look at was $3,727 for a 2-bedroom. And if that's your whole month's income, Yeah, Miami's bad. The numbers don't work for you. So when people say the average American is getting priced out of society, Ericka, yeah, because average never worked. Average, we've never designed anything for average. Now, when we had the baby boomer generation, we built all these suburbs, and y'all go way out there. Think about that. They were already saying, get them up out of the city. Get all them people up out of the city. Go out there. What are they doing in Baltimore right now? Right? I know Charm City buyers may not like this, but Baltimore had a 5% population decrease, and they tried to say, oh, that's not true. Okay, first of all, they took a big swatch of the Section 8 folks and gave them a visa, gave them their voucher to go way out there. Y'all gonna go live out in the country now, right at the edge of the line, right? Because it's still in the county, but you ain't gonna be up in the city. No, no, no. So again, like I said, if you're a single person and you're making $40K a year, you can afford an apartment. Everybody's like, man, you're doing so good. You're doing so good, man. Look around here in Austin. I'm in Austin, Texas. All these men and women got 2, 3 roommates. When you meet a man that's got his own place and don't have no roommates, you're like, you in tech? You in tech? Yeah, I'm in tech. You already know. What do you do for a living? I'm in tech. Oh, yep, I already knew. The math isn't there. The math isn't there. Because let's just go there. People are saying homes are out of price for the average family. No, they're not. The average person is going to, if you go look at any of these credit repair groups, and I actually challenge you to do this in your free time, and there's 311 people here. Let's hit the like button. There's over 300 plus, probably 1,000 at this point, credit repair type conversation Facebook groups. They grow every day because they're popular. And you'll go through in and out all of them. Just see what the posts are for the day. Hey man, I'm trying to get this stuff off my credit so I can get a car. It's never so I can buy a house. It's never so I can do A, B, and C, something long term. It's always to buy a car. Or hey man, I got this car and my car payment's $800 a month. I'm trying to get it refinanced. I've been paying on it for 5 years. It's still, and you go, what's the interest rate? Oh, it's 22%. Well, duh, that's why it's so high. And they literally argue with you, but I've been paying on it for 4 or 5 years. This car ought to be paid off. Like what grade level math are you working with, honey? Right? So the credit card game is closed, right? Unless you're real young and get a bunch of stuff off, or do a credit sweep. You know, the credit card game's closed to you, right? The grabbing stuff and smash and grab is closed to you unless you want to get shot. You know, the people that do get approved for car loans, they're trying to do Torino app. They're trying to rent their car out. Right? Why? Because the average is not working. It's not working for a lot of you. If a lot of you want to go live out 30 minutes outside of the city in a nice neighborhood, rent that house and enjoy your kids and go to school, you could do that. But a lot of you want to live in the city on a city lifestyle, hot girl city lifestyle, and it's just not possible. Not on 40K. Not on 40K. You were in a roommate position automatically with 40K. There is no other position for you to be in. Nah, man, I live in Ohio. Okay. But can you go have a family? Can you start having extra kids unplanned? No, you can't. So again, why did BlackRock and all these companies buy out thousands of houses? Why are all those Zillow properties most likely going to turn to rentals? Because the average person wants a bigger space. They don't want to be in an apartment, but they can't afford a house. Because I just broke the math down for you. They ain't got no money left. They ain't got no money left. Let's just say they get a USDA loan, no money down house, which is 40 minutes out from the city. They get in that house. What's the first thing they do? They get a car and they get a bunch of furniture. Okay, they back stuck it up until their neck can't breathe. If one hiccup happens between them and their wife, and I've seen this, the wholesalers make a killing off of this. The wife and them get a divorce. They got to sell the house. Neither one of them can afford to keep it by themselves, even though they spent no money to get into it. Look how many mortgages are in default from 2020. It's been over 16 months. This is where you live, right? So again, trying to tell me that average is okay, that's average is working for you, that I don't know what I'm talking about, that I'm just money hungry, that Black women need to stop talking about money, that the community, has this magical high value people somewhere. No, we don't. I'm telling you, we don't. Right? And I'm sitting here, I recorded a webinar earlier for Black Friday special. And I was like, folks don't even see it, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm telling you, the numbers aren't in your favor for what you're talking about. Right? So let's go ahead and go there. You save up all your money all year long. You save up $300 per paycheck all year long. You take your 2-week vacation. You pay for $1,000 flight overseas. You spend a week and a half there cutting up. And then you come back home. You right back at square one. Right? I posted on my Instagram about health savings account, which you can max out about $3,500. If you have a family, you can put about $7,300, I think, in it. I may be off on a number. And captive insurance. What you don't realize is when I was getting these trucks and when I had my office, and I said, hey, I have a trucking company. I need insurance for the office, just the building. It was like pulling teeth. I said, no, the trucks aren't here. They aren't parked at this office. This is just the office for the staff and paperwork. And every insurance company tried to go, oh no, we don't insure for that. Well, I went to a mastermind in Florida, and the guy was like, just get captive insurance. And all the other white guys around, I'm like, yeah, just get captive insurance. I'm like, what's captive insurance? Now I'm gonna do a very generalized review of this. I want you to please go, and again, look this up on your own time. There's 379 people here. Make sure y'all hit the like button. And I'm saying captive. I think, make sure everybody understands me. Maybe sound like I'm saying it wrong. I'm just going to share my screen for a second so you see. So we're all on the same page of what I'm saying. Captive, right? Like I'm capting you, captive insurance. Okay. Now, let's just go there. What is, long story short, what is captive insurance? Let me tell you what it is. I, Ericka Williams, LLC, makes Williams Insurance, LLC. I would like a policy on Ericka Williams, LLC of $500,000. And I take that $500,000 and give it to the Williams Insurance, LLC. I'm literally giving y'all the most basic example of this. Now, in the policy for this $500,000, I cover everything that could possibly happen at this office of Ericka Williams, LLC. And then here's a kicker. I can even loan, after I gave this money, I took this $500,000 and put it in that insurance, right? So it pays me out anytime. I can take a loan as Ericka Williams, the company, from Williams Insurance at 1 or 2% interest. I don't want to make it too convoluted, but put a 1 in the comments if you understood what I just said. Go look this up for yourself. But this is why I want y'all to understand. When I was sitting here talking to these men, they're like, well, who cares? Just make captive insurance. And I'm sitting here like, what? And I'm well versed. I'm like meeting with advisors. I'm meeting with financial planners. I'm meeting with accountants. I'm going deep dive into all these things and protecting yourself. Trust me. Right? I'm over the top studying. I was an Edward Jones intern out of college. So it's not like I don't know things. Right? Okay. And so even then they're educating me on that. And I'm like, mind blown, right? This is my third time really hearing it. And they were like, how do you think all these people and all these companies have been able to survive? Right? Because what's another thing? I told you all about this in this here. When I went and got our new office, they were like, hey, in Georgetown, Texas, they said, hey, you got to have business interruption insurance. And I said, what? Yeah, we won't let anybody after 2020 come in our office without it. Now you're going to say, Ericka, what is business interruption insurance? Now I had it and I already found a claim. I maxed out my claim. But business interruption insurance is, and they were very fickle last year. Because when 2020 hit, they were like, oh, wait, this ain't covered. All these companies are suing them left and right. Business interruption insurance is, let's say every month we make $30K and a fire hits our office. We got staff. Now people say, well, the insurance gonna pay. Yeah, one particular insurance is gonna pay for the fire damage. But what about all the office? What about this payroll? What about the staff? Well, that's where business interruption insurance comes in. Let's say lightning hits the building. Let's say the building gets flooded. Let's say one of your main managers falls down on the job and the company really can't focus and work without this main manager. Business interruption insurance. Let's say a car drives through your building, which this actually happened in Austin. Not my building, but off of, if you go towards downtown, you'll see it. Guess what they're going to have? They're going to have the building insurance. Yep, that's one. But they're going to have that business interruption insurance because business is interrupted, right? So what's happening is there's a game being played and we don't even know all the stuff to play the game. But where does it start? It don't start with you at 40K income. It just doesn't. I keep sitting inside people's courses and I'm laughing because they be like, oh yeah, I put about 15 to 30K away in stocks every year. And you can see people's eyes in the live Zoom like, what? Because those people inside of there only make 40, 50K a year. And this person's talking about, and this person's not that far ahead of them, but this person's talking about, oh, I put 15, 20K a year away. So of course in 10 years, they're having a different outcome than you. This on top. Now let's even go to the HSA, the health savings account. Now remember, I've been telling y'all the past 2 years, I've been going to get facials and massages and all that stuff. You know, feet care, all that stuff. Well, they would always ask me, are you using your HSA? I'd be like, what? Well, you can go on Fidelity. And again, it's just HSA for individual is like $3,000. For a family, it's $7,000. So every time I would go, you could get a little debit card. Let's say you put that $3,000 in there. Tax write-off. And every time you go get your massage, swipe. Every time you go get your IV therapy, swipe. Every time you go get your facial, swipe that particular card. Because that falls under alternative medicine. Y'all, there's a game being played out here. And when you tell me you're an average American, you're just an average guy. I'm just blue jean pickup truck Bobby. When the average pickup truck right now is $40,000. You're playing an old game. I see it all the time. Where people say about the cost of stuff, the cost of this, the cost of that. And, they're just an average person. And I'm like, well, what do you want anybody to do? Right? Thank you for the 429 people here. Hit the like button. At one point, they were called swipers. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Manufacturer spend was in that gray area. Legally, it was like, you can do it, but it's a little gray. It's in a gray area. So I broke down to you how much income is really 40K a year. It's not money. I live with two women who one woman made 185,000, 190,000. That's without the bonuses. That's just her income at Samsung, highest paid woman there. The other girl was a financial analyst making 150,000 a year. When I filled out, I'm going to go ahead and tell you the truth. Shame the devil. When I filled out my credit card applications, it said, what's your household income? It didn't say what was Ericka's income. It said, what was your household income? So, I went ahead and told them what my whole house. I put everybody's income together on that application. And our mailbox was just always just flooded with credit card offers, right? There's big data searching certain areas, right? That the big data is scrubbing always, right? And so we would just get flooded. I'd be like, I've never had this many credit card offer, from Amex come in the mail. This is crazy. So, which is funny. It just was a funny season. So when I hear somebody talk about, well, I make $70,000 a year and that's good. Good for what? What's your goals? Let's really talk about it. Let's really have a conversation. Just like when I was down there in Florida talking about captive insurance and HSA, and they asked me about my Roth, and they asked me about my SEP and all this other stuff. Then they asked me, well, are you going to get into vacation rentals? And let me be very clear. They're not talking about Airbnb style. If you get in certain rooms, they call it luxury lifestyle living. You'll Google that. You'll see all kind of videos where people talk about luxury lifestyle living. Or Tyler Lopez, you talk about Tri-City CEO. Now, you guys know I'm not in any kind of quiet about it here in North Carolina, Carolina Beach. I'm going to go get a vacation rental. They can go anywhere from $350,000 to $1 million. But usually the way North Carolina is set up, the beach system, we have 13 beaches. People rent those big houses, or 4-bedroom, 4-baths, or 5-bedroom, 5-baths for $5K a week. Except for 3 weeks in the year. That's the first week of school and the next 2 weeks after that. Rent it all the way out for the whole year. So you already know after you pay your expenses, your fees, your everything comes out, you're going to have about $150,000 a year income you make off that property. Or let's say on the low end, $120,000. So now this property that you've purchased with a mortgage on it and that rents out through a company on the beach, which is very common, all year long, and then the 3 weeks it's empty, you most likely going to be staying in it, and it's paying you $120K a year. Come on now, y'all. That's called luxury lifestyle living. There's a whole group of people who talk about it all the time because they've been doing it. When someone tells me that they're high value, they're high income, we're not even talking about, there's levels to this. If I ask you, does your family have a beach home or a farmhouse or a farm y'all fall back to? You look at me crazy because you're not there yet. Driving a BMW, driving an Audi, all that stuff is not luxury living. Just gonna tell you that. I mean, I think people have been selling y'all these cars as this example, and it's really hilarious because when you actually know, it's funny, sorry. When you actually know what's going on and you can do the math, you see it don't make no sense. Dr. Dick's life is about to get real. Services and jobs are being automated. Companies don't need labor anymore. Trades and working from home are the future. So, Dr. Dick's, even in that, for particular people, this is why I'm sitting here telling you, I'm like, you may be out here doing crime sprees. Do what you feel. But these neighborhoods are becoming gated neighborhoods, master plan communities. They're going to have their grocery store. They're going to have their community coffee place. They're going to have all their stuff inside their master plan community. Go look at houses in North Dallas. Go take a weekend. If you're near Dallas or Houston, please, I'm begging you, go look at some of these master plan communities. Go walk the houses where they have a mother-in-law suite standard. And some of the ladies joke when you tour the house, oh, this is also for your college students. Because they know you college kids are coming back. So you got a whole mother-in-law suite over there with an extra bathroom room and a den where she can watch the soaps, okay, over there. And the houses are configured so that there multiple cars can park there, okay? The kids can ride golf carts all over the neighborhood, have a pool in their own neighborhood. The school, the elementary is right there in their own neighborhood. Look up Terra Vista here in Round Rock. They have certain sections of Terra Vista. You're not going to live there. Your kids don't get bussed in there. It's only for the kids who can walk to that school. That's it. So, like I said, Dr. Dix is talking about make sure you can have a job, traders, and working from home are the future. Okay, it's great. Again, trades, tech, stock market. These folks have already built in offices at their houses. They're not worried about no pandemic. And they certainly aren't mad. Listen, yeah, you can go out here and do all this crime, but you ain't going to do it in those neighborhoods. You're not going to get past the gated fence and all the ring cameras and the local security guard that rides around all day. Come on, y'all. It is, again, y'all about to learn. Happy Thanksgiving, Black Tights. Thank you for the super chat. I just want you to understand, what are you crafting and creating for you and your family? Right? Oh, I believe it. I'm telling you, listen, you a actual professional electrician using a gift card and somebody looking at you crazy. It happens. It happens a lot more than that. Went to San Diego, saw signs offering beach houses for rent along the shore. Yeah. You really can't. Listen, Silence of the Lamb vans. Lock your work van, lock them. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to explain it to you. Like, I literally, I literally sat in the room and I told the guy, hey, I might go get a couple tech certs, just testing myself out, getting some tech certs. He said, oh, what are you looking to do? I've got some friends can help you go ahead and get your first job. What are you looking to do? I didn't know this man from Adam. I was just meeting him for lunch. We were people that met at a golf classic here in off of Hutto, off the golf park off of Hutto. And I'm like, one, you're in a tech town, and two, that's how people get where they need to go. It just is what it is, right? Just is what it is. Yo, they back stealing rims in DC. I mean, I'm telling you, that's what's deceiving. The crooks are going to good neighborhoods because the poor don't have it. They really don't. And that's what was so sad about the Hutto neighborhood. Everybody's out there with their cars unlocked, just living their best life. Crackhead crimes. We call them poor man crimes or petty crimes, because the usually the person doesn't engage with a person. They're just trying to steal an object from the car. But these people ain't playing that. These Uber drivers and Lyft drivers and Korean shop owners, they shooting people. Stop playing. Oh, listen to me. There are gonna be a lot of people locked up, and what's gonna happen is you're gonna be talking to people, and you're gonna be like, "You did what?" Like, I was watching MTV, and this was like breaking my heart. This boy was 13, but his body size was like 11-year-old. He was small. The uniform hung off of him. He's a little black boy, and he was saying how he figured out how to hack people's credit cards. And he had bought PlayStations and clothes, and also the police came and got him. Was like, "This the kid?" Well, the boy, because he was so close to, he had been in there long enough that he was close to 15 or something. And it's a small county outside of Georgia. They don't have a separate prison. They don't have like a juvenile section, baby section. They just have this part of the jail they put the young people in, this part they put the adults in. And so he over there, 14 going on 15, inside a jail with big old tall, strong 16, 17-year-old kids for credit card crime. Common sense says this boy's smart enough to do that. We need to get him somewhere else, right? But his own family didn't have no money to get him out of there. Retail insurance scam, peep game, boost slumping sales profits. Yeah. Retail got all kind of stuff going on. Don't ever buy a car online. I did. They never delivered the card. I paid cash. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's terrible. What's up? They really gonna learn. They gonna learn our way. Traveling nurses make better money for sure. Look sleepy? No, not really. 40K is not where it's at. Inflation and stuff you can get with a decent house in DMV area. So here's the thing: if you live in the DMV area, and I know so many black people get tired of me picking on them because they live in the DMV area, there's no reason why you don't have a higher paying job. You're surrounded by government jobs and high paying other type of careers, GS, military clearance, all this stuff. To me, I'm just getting tired of it. I'm really getting tired of, like, I didn't know about that. Okay. Why you doing like that, uppity bro? Why you doing like that? I'm telling you, I knew waitresses that made 50 something to 60 something a year, like clockwork, and they had their own house. That's why it's hard to hear. There you go. I love it when people talk about, ground beef is $10. Let me tell you something. There's 485 people here. Hit the like button. The only way I'm really buying in bulk meat is direct from shipper. Like right now, I order wild salmon, cod, and all that stuff direct from Alaskan shippers. And what's super interesting is every couple of batches they throw me some extra fish in there. I'd be like, I see y'all. Thank you. They have smoked oysters, all that stuff. I get it directly from Alaska because I grew up there, and I also know the fish that you get that's farm raised in the States, they put dye in it. It doesn't get the same muscles. It doesn't get the same nutrients. They're usually sickly. Thank you, Big Sean. All right, Big Sean, with that picture, I see you, pretty lady there. Trey Wilson, middle class is starting 150K a year. I would say yes, but I also say look at what when people talk about this 1%, right? Like on paper, I'm 1%, but in my mind, I will not be real 1%. Even though I can financially on paper, I am. Even if cash flow is funny, right? On paper, I'm 1%. Until I have that beach house in Carolina Beach and the farm property I'm looking for, I don't consider myself that. And that's why when people say, well, Ericka, I'd buy this if I were you. I'd buy this car, I'd buy that car. I'm like, honey, I sit around different type of tables. And so in my mind, I'm not there till I get that daggone beach house. That's putting money in my pocket when I ain't in it. It's just different. It's different. It's a different conversation, y'all. I'm sitting here talking to people who live in Austin and are buying lake houses 40 minutes down the street. They're not renting lake house, they buying them. And they're gonna they rent them out in the meantime and then be in them when they want to go to them. It's a different type of money, y'all. Different type of money. Middle class is 75K in Atlanta or Dallas. I don't even know how much is in New York. Oof. I don't even know the incentive for New York. Like, I get it. Your family's there. But I was watching a lot of the tiny home people, and there was like a American Indian couple that were Navajo, and they were working at a resort. Now, we work at resorts. You get discount housing, you get all this other stuff. And they were like, we were making money. But really, we looked up after everything. We're like, we're literally just working to pay bills. So they bought a tiny home, and they're gonna buy another one. They got their own food, their crops, and they out there living off grid because a lot of the Navajo people have been living off grid without running water for years anyway. So middle class in Dallas or Atlanta, again, my mindset is different than a lot of people's because I've been in enough meetings, enough events to go, yeah, making 100K is great if you already own your own home, right? Because your bills are smaller. Like when I think back now to the girls in North Carolina who had these 80K homes, and I know their mortgage couldn't be more than 350, and they making 60K a year as a just starting out nurse, or they were certain careers they were making 60K a year. They were really winning. Their mortgage is nothing. They got a paid off car. That's when you can start doubling up on your money, right? But ultimately, most people that are renting, paying that $1,300, $1,500 for rent, yeah, 75K. That's a bare minimum. There you go. People think it's pre-2000s where you could be basically a factory worker and it's all good. Yeah, I believe that. I think is what we're experiencing is people are like, Ericka, I can't go back to school. I mean, read the comments in my videos. It's always the same thing. I can't go back to school. I got a family. I got kids. I can't take all this time off. And I go, you can go do technical writing and make 85K a year. Black Heights just talked about it. Several people talk about it. It wasn't until Kamoy changed their prices for class, and everybody's like, oh, whoa. Wait a minute. I'm telling you. You don't have to go to school. You can literally study and take a test in a week and be a loan officer. You can study and take a test in a week and have a license. You can study and test in a week. You can do these boot camps and have your certificate. Are you going to be 100% perfect? No. But that's just it. People are still in 1995. I have to go back all the way to school and start all over again. That's not what you have to do. Copper is a crackhead memory. Oh, I mean, it's crazy. And that's when a lot of people paid attention. They were like, oh, wait, dollar store is $1.25? It's crazy. 18, a great with a 523 car note, 1,050 rent, and was always broke. Damn. You fight over water? Possible. I know. And people, and see, here's the thing, Community Solutions Pro, people are fighting me on this, like, oh, young people ain't getting married. Look at the van life folks. There are 2 people in a daggone van. Huge numbers. And as soon as, let's say they're a single woman or man with a van, they go find other van people and get in communities. And then as soon as they find a boyfriend or girlfriend, they get out of the van completely and get in a house. We've seen this 50 times over. People keep trying to play me like, oh, Ericka, nobody's getting married. It's like, please stop capping for the internet. Like the woman I put on my community wall. I'm going to go there. It's a prime example of it, though. Hold on, I'm going to show y'all in a second. Rooming houses, boarding houses were always a big money drawer. And if you don't know about boarding houses, I would dare you go look up boarding houses. And Lackawanna Blues, that movie, prime example of that, right? Where, you know, this person's been able to save the house and keep the house because they were rooming out rooms in the house, right? Let's see if I got enough internet to pull up what I'm trying to pull up for y'all. I don't want it tripping and kicking me off. Oh yeah, inflation's crazy. I just rented out one of my properties for $500-700 a month. Listen, I told you about my friend. He was a medical student. Now he's in residency at UCLA. He was the only black guy. 2 white guys and the rest were all Asian and Indian. He got $1.7 million in scholarship money. So once they had to pay all his UCLA and they paid a little bit up in the front, he took that money. He got a condo in San Francisco. He invested in some startups. And before he finished medical school, he was already a millionaire. One of the startups that already got bought by Facebook. And he was like, oh my God, my condo in San Francisco is renting out for this much money. And everybody's like, keep it. Keep renting it out. So again, it's different games being played out here. You have to have skills. The fourth turning, yeah. The IRS already went back on that. They're not doing it because they don't have enough staff. The fourth turning. Oh, Philly's already wow. The Uber driver I'm talking about, that happened in Philly. That shooting I'm talking about happened in Philly. And like, it was the saddest thing ever because you had somebody's Ring camera, listening to this man die, right? So they say, hey, give us your stuff. So then he grabs him and he's like, give me that stuff, right? And he's like, no, because he's Asian. And he turns around, he grabs that thing from under his hood, boom. And I mean, they're screaming bloody murder. And they're basically, you're listening. Unfortunately, somebody died on somebody's Ring camera. If I was that parent, I'd delete that thing. I don't know how you delete the recordings on Ring camera, but I think they had to give it over to the police. But it was just awful. It was the most awful thing I've ever heard. Just god awful. So just to be funny for a second, when people say, "Oh, everybody on the internet claiming to make all this money," and I'm like, y'all overselling it, right? Let me go ahead and show you this. Philly gonna be wow. Let me see here. And I don't want to go too crazy. We're going on close to the hour. If you are on my community wall, and I keep telling y'all, people, if you're in fitness, I made a joke in a video. I said, if you're in fitness, you can make a lot of money in fitness just because the industry, the way it is. So Mr. Dave Hollis got divorced from his wife, who's very famous, and immediately started dating. He put his book, Built Through Courage, and he's been talking about it for over a year now. Motivational, right? So then you see him, he's with this woman. She's extremely beautiful, right? Extremely beautiful girl. Her name is Heidi Powell. She has 500,000 subscribers. She's a mama of 4. She has 3 baby daddies, and they're all famous millionaire men. And I was trying to explain to you about proximity, and once you get a certain amount of money, a certain amount of lifestyle, you are in a different everything. I don't even know how to explain it to you. You're just in a different everything. And let me see if I can pull up a picture. Hold on a second. Maybe possibly it might not work. It's sucking up all the internet. Here it is. It might be one of them. This is one famous guy. If you don't know who he is, he's off The Biggest Loser. That's the kid she had her. He had no kid before he met her. Her other exes covered his face. Let me see if I can go back to the other one. If you actually, let me see if I can pull it up. Pull up the guy I'm talking about. It's a very small circle. If you, I can't even pull it up. I hate this internet at this office. Longer my story short is proximity and a certain amount of money. You're in a different group of people. Like, you're just in a different bracket. You're in a different life. You're in a different stream. And when I tell you that, like, people, oh, money doesn't matter. I don't care how much. If you're a woman who you're making over $1 million from your affiliates and supplements because people see you on the Instagram and the grams and your sponsorships, you're just in a different lifestyle bracket. You just are. You just are. And so this cap on the internet, all this capping is exhausting because it's just not true. Like, but if you go look up, I'll probably post it just to be petty. She's only dealing with millionaire men, and she's a business owner. And so I just want you to understand, like, a lot of y'all are like in belief that internet money is real money. And that's part of why I did the digital real estate course, because I just feel like in the YouTube course, because y'all are over complicating simple techniques and tasks and systems, right? Like the other day I had to sit in like a 3-hour Zoom call meeting because a new team is coming over to take over all my stuff, right? Like I'm like, hey, I'll just pay this company, come over, take it over, go corporate on me. I don't care. I've done this for organic and very non, individual kind of thinking, independent thinking for long enough. So I've seen it. I sit in rooms with people who really, really make that money, and they're not doing as much as you think they're doing as far as marketing and all this other stuff. They literally have 2 or 3 people on staff. That's why when I wanted you to understand, if you're a person who's like, I'm a VA, I'm going to do all this, I'm going to make 2-3 grand being at home, just sending out a couple emails or doing a couple projects. No. If you get under work underneath a Heidi, sure, you'll make 6, 7, 8 grand a month but you're going to be working. You're going to be working real hard from home for it. You're not going to be chilling. You're just not. Yes, tech salaries are $130K to $185K. Yeah. Then what's a good income for somebody on $40K? What's for somebody that's single? I'm telling you, there really isn't. If you're single and you don't have any kids, you should be really focused on making as much income as possible and investing as much as possible. All right. Again, Minnesota apartments started. There you go. The math never lies. The math never lies. That's right. Build people around you so you can build communities. Like, again, I told you I have some cousins, some family members that we're offloading one business onto for them to take it over. We're offloading another thing. Like, I'm really like, people like, oh, you're busy, you're hustling all the time. That's not true. A lot of stuff I'm doing at this point is now to literally hand over the system to someone else and let them run all my ads and run all my YouTube ads and run my Facebook ads. And they're going to run all the CRM and marketing, and I'm not going to have to be bothered. I've sat in a room with too many Heidi types that are like, oh, honey, this is what I do. Copy this and quit doing all this other stuff. And that's what I'm going to do. Sorry, I'm out. Oh, yeah, houses are falling through the ground. This is why they won't. See, Stanley Carter, this is this myth that they're going to dump all these properties. They're not. Because this is the cycle of people. They buy a car, they got student loan debt, they can never qualify to buy their own home, but they don't want to be in an apartment, and they got kids, so they'll rent a house. They'll always rent a house. Literally. Or prime example, someone was talking about mortgage modifications. That was a real big thing during the pandemic. Oh, can I modify my mortgage? Now, people who were landlords was like, cash out refi. I'm going to take this money and put it somewhere else and let it go to work. A lot of the people that invested in apartments came from single family houses landlords who cashed out refi, took that money and put it in apartment deals with Grant Cardone's and all those people. That's why they were so big, right? On the other hand, a person who want to do a modification of their home, and this is important, if you ask the bank, hey, can I do a modification? Bank's like, you want to do a what? I need a modification. Okay, well, first of all, you got to stop paying your mortgage for 3 months before we'll talk to you. Okay, I stopped paying my mortgage for 3 months. Can I get a modification? Yes, but really, we'd love for you just to sell the house. Now, they can't say that to you legally. They have to walk you through the modification paperwork. But already, if you have to, in a realistic timeline, if you didn't pay your mortgage for 3 months, they can start the foreclosure paperwork. But because of the craziness of 2020, they couldn't. So now already to the bank, they don't want you in that house. They want you gone. They want you to sell that house. Okay. But you think you've won because you took a modification. Now you saved $100 or $150. But now they're going to throw all this extra interest on the back end of your house mortgage. So eventually that person will end up selling anyway. And that's why, this whole setup is, I'm really trying to educate people my best I can that your best bet is to make more money. Now, people are going to tell you, Dave Ramsey, stuff like, you need to pay off everything. In an ideal world, if you've got 20K in student loan debt, then yeah, you should work an extra job for 1 or 2 years after college and just use all that money to pay that debt off and call it a day and go on with your life. But by the time you meet most people when they figure out they're really in debt, they've already got kids. They already got 2 brand new cars, right? In the 2008 crash, the average person lost their home because they lacked an extra $500 a month. When they did the math, they looked at all the data. They were like, man, this person was really only short $500 a month. And if it wasn't for credit cards, the credit cards were keeping them up. And then when they couldn't keep the credit cards, it rolled down. There you go. I mean, go to IKEA. People keep saying this, and I promise you, you have to factor in, Rama. Next year, they already are surveying people from India, UK, Scotland, Mexico, Canada, Turkey, all these countries. They're like, my goal is to go to America and buy a house. That's it. Their country was so repressive. That's all they can think of is, I'm leaving here. I'm going to go to America. I'm going to buy a house. If you already got 60% foreign buyers this year, and they ain't even free to leave their country right now, and you got 80% foreign buyers in Vancouver, and you got 70% foreign buyers in certain parts of California, what you think gonna happen next year? This is a dream statement that many people are saying, I'm gonna just wait. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. OnlyFans is crowded. This is a joke that men love telling, but I'm telling you, the average person will just, being careful, they'll just get married to some nerdy guy who's lonely. Go look up Alaska Craigslist. Go look up these matchmakers for Alaska and some of these states where it's got more men than women. Y'all think I'm joking? Oh, Navy Federal be, hey, what, you look for a car? No. I cannot. I'm just telling you. Surety bond insurance, what about it? Depends on what it is. It's a part of it, but it's not. I know people are like, infinite betting. That's a lower income term. The truth is, unless you have, and there's a book I'll always recommend to y'all. It's called A Millionaire by 30. It's a green book. If you look on Amazon for it, I'm not even put the link in here. You just go look it up. If you go read that book, the type of infinite banking on that insurance, you would have to be paying about $500 to $900 a month in insurance for 10 years before all that could be infinite banking and pay you back. Now, some people say, well, I can do it in 5 years and 4 years. Do you have an extra $1,000 a month to put in an insurance plan like that? No, you don't. The average American doesn't have it. That's why they only really market it to tech folk. You ain't tech, you ain't making 150K a year, they ain't talking to you. I know it is. That's why I'm laughing, because people gonna name all these things that you've heard on YouTube. If you heard it on YouTube, it ain't it. Trust me, that's lower level stuff. I'm telling you, captive insurance and business interruption insurance. Watch. It is almost slightly different. I don't have no core sales. I have no sales. People are like, wait, what? I have no sale. I only have two bundles. One's 1,500, the other's $5,000. If you don't want it, sorry. Because I told y'all all year long that I wasn't doing no more sales. I wasn't gonna have a Black Friday sale because our company is structuring in a way that a major company corporation is partnering with me, and I told y'all that all year long. And I thought y'all thought I was joking, but I'm not. The only knowledge you're gonna get is if you pay for it. You can get the bundles, you can get individual courses. That's all I got for you. Look at that. My HA paid for my last separate trip because the makeup I bought had 30 SPF in it. It's a shuffle game. You're a rich person putting 7K a year in there for your family. Now think about it. 10 years later, you got 70K in there. Come on. You're welcome. That's right. Alternative medicine. A massage is alternative medicine. You didn't know that? Getting in a sauna, cold treatment, getting in the little steamers, getting in all that stuff is alternative treatment. Daycare. See, look at that. People be using it for all kind of stuff. I'd reach out to Fidelity. Let me show y'all this. I don't. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not CYA. Consult your attorney. Consult your accountant. Financial calculators. Here we go. I'm trying to make sure I don't log in my account. You know, y'all can't be seeing that now. Go over here to Fidelity. They do a really great job of some free calculators. You know, they just want a little bit of information from you. You know how they do that. Okay. So going on over here, it's called fidelity.com. Try out their calculators right here. You can get calculators for everything. Financial health assessment, for that debit card I was telling you about, the SEP, all that. Go on over here. Go on over here and let them tell you what you're missing. And do the calculations, because see, when I watched that roll over eyes, all that stuff, traditional eyes, when I was watching that thing with Kevin Samuels, I almost passed out from shame. That sad woman don't realize that, like, she'll never retire. Never. She'll never have a moment she retire. I remember working with a woman, she was like 70 years old and her knees were bad. And she was talking about how her husband had divorced her a couple years ago. And I was like, well, dang, that's ridiculous, right? And I said, well, when you gonna retire? And she said, when they carry me out of here. And I was in college. And I can tell you, my brain, it's like my brain shut down. I could not fathom what she was saying to me, that she was never going to be able to stop working. And so, Diamond Dave said something that was really spot on the other day, that, yeah, we all need to be thinking about long-term investments and stuff like that. But your children got to eat today. You got to pay the rent. What are you going to do to make more income now so that you can take care of your family right now? Yeah. There you go. There you go. They really are. Listen, and what you're going to see is, you're going to see a lot of these mother-in-law suites in these houses, these AUD, where they add this extra living space on the back of the houses. What they're going to start doing? TJ Jackson. I rent $650 for a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, living room, den, laundry room, front and backyard in Mississippi. Home-based business, no overhead. Congratulations. Yep. Acupuncture, chiropractor, massages. Mm-hmm. There you go. That's true. You know, don't argue with me. Go look on Fidelity. Go look on Fidelity. Go talk to an expert. I can show y'all stuff. I can tell y'all stuff, and will people will argue with me. So I ain't gotta argue with you. You can keep going out there and buying cars and losing money, but I'm telling you, literally, security companies are gonna be making bank. Oh yeah, San Diego. I mean, listen, um, Nancy Pelosi and people got mad because I posted on Facebook. She bought a house in Florida. She's about to retire, and people are like, "Oh, you don't understand. She's still gonna have to pay taxes in California, honey. You don't know what you're talking about. If she moves her whole home to Florida, she moves all her business to Florida. She ain't paying them California taxes. Her and her husband gonna live the rest of their 80s to 100 years old, living well. Yeah, 50-year mortgages are coming. Trust me. And people gonna try to, I was here in Texas and I was looking at a house that was $1 million. And these people were like, oh my God, you're looking at $1 million. Well, after you pay for it for 30 years, it'll be this much. I said, why the hell would I pay for a house for 30 years? You can't afford it if you got to pay for it for 30 years. And then the guy got quiet. But I'm like, people do the 30 years so the mortgage payment's lower. But in theory, you should be doing 15-year more. Even, Dave Ramsey has come around to that. You should be doing 15-year mortgages. So, oh, for sure. More homeowners. Listen, the black guy who is a felon, the police came in on a no-knock raid, kicked his door in, and he shot him up. One of them dead, the other one almost died. And guess what? He got acquitted. They were like, you can't just bust up in nobody's house. Now, what he's not getting, this is incorrect. What he's not getting off on is the gun charge because he is a felon. But the law says you have a right to protect your home and property. America's not overpopulated. I hate hearing this. This is such a silly, silly, silly thing to say. You can put the whole population of the world inside Alaska in high rises. They've already done the math on this. You have whole places in America. If you drive from Texas to Arizona, you will drive for at least 4 hours with nothing out there. Nothing. You drive from here to Oklahoma, big watches of nothing. So when people try to say it's overpopulated, you haven't left your city. You don't know what you're talking about. Racism is the little brother of classism. It is. Oh, gated community is going to be, honey, that's what I was trying to move into, was a gated community. I'm telling you, like, trust. Because if you live in a gated community, your kid act up, you can walk to their parents' house. Where your parent at? What house your kid? Where your parent your house at? Okay. And you can get in your little golf cart and drive over to their house and knock on the door. And if they see you in the golf cart, they already know you live in the neighborhood. You can't just be some random person. Yep, smash and grab at the malls. No. You'll still have a lot of brick and mortar, but it'll be in smaller areas, right? So like the wealthier people that moved out to the suburbs and to the Wimberley, Texas, and to the edge parts, they'll have a gas station. And it's like the most beautiful gas station you've ever seen. It's not some hicky hick gas station. And it has milk and groceries and all stuff because the people are so far out to drive further in. It would be taking up their time. Yep. Burglar bars, store doors. Yeah, all this stuff. Listen to me. Listen. If you got a niece or nephew doing something stupid, don't let them bring it back to your house because all these laws they got, they're going to say, well, you knew it was at your house. We charging you too. They had a white family in New Jersey, had to take it all the way to the Supreme Court. Their son was a drug dealer, dealing drugs in New Jersey, white boy. Somebody died from an overdose. He was at the hospital. Police came and did a forced seizure of the parents' house. Came and told the parents, you got to get out of your own house. Son didn't even be in trial yet. Wasn't even at trial yet. Was in the hospital still. They're not going to let you have these kids out here acting wild and then come sleep at your house at night. I am telling you, if you think you can just have these kids out here doing whatever, you about to get a wake-up call of your life. It took them going almost all the way to the Supreme Court. They had to go to some court, almost like the Ninth Circuit Court of. They just kept going up and up, and finally New Jersey said, "Bump it, okay, we'll give them their house back." But they were literally going to take this boy's parents' house because he slept there at night. He was a drug dealer during the day, and somebody died from him selling them meth. Don't play with these. Listen, they looking for an excuse. They're looking for an excuse. That's my whole thing. When people talk about they in the DMV and they can't make no money, honey, it's you. It's not a system. It's you. They really are. Go watch the movie The Badlands. There, listen, uppity broke. I'm past that. Not even stunting. No, I have cash flow management issues at times, but I'm past that. Trust me when I tell you I'm in the 1%. But that don't mean shit if you ain't got no. If you meet a person they making $350K, sometimes they're a dentist, they're an eye doctor. All the dentists and eye doctors I know, the next thing they did was buy a rental property that they rent out half the time, and a Salt Lake City or Park City, Utah residence that they also rent out. So they got the snow renting out and they got the beach renting out. So now instead of just making $300,000 because they qualify for those mortgages, they can make in $500,000 because both those places rent out almost all year long, depending on what's going on. Now they're gonna take that money and do what? Roll it into something else. I want you to understand the game. It's many people are not even playing the game, and I'll show you that. Let me see if I can pull up the map. Oh, I think my computer might die. Hold on, y'all. I'll give y'all the last 5 minutes of combo before the computer dies on us. Let me see if I can get it in here. Okay, here it is. I think I got it. The map. Is it the map? No, I need the map. I don't like this kind of version. Let's see if this one can do it. It still keeps doing it in a stupid way. I hate it. Anyway, go look up USA Today. I can't get the map I want, but I'll confirm or deny that. Let me show this real quick to you. And there's 576 people here. Hit the like button. We're gonna chop this video up. To be 1% Alabama, you need $390,000. In Alaska, $433,000. Arizona, $448,000. Arkansas, $377,000. California, $659,000. The average income of 1% in California, though, is $2.1 million. Average income of all tax earners in California on average is $95,000. So if you're making less than $95,000 in California, you less than average. You're below average. Let me say that again. If you're in California making less than $95,000, you are a below average person. If you go back up to Arkansas, average is $67,000. $72,000 Arizona. $78,000 Alaska. My parents made a ton of money in Alaska, but it was so expensive. Colorado. Connecticut, $800,000. Delaware, come on. Florida, $82,000 is the average. Now you're gonna say, well, Ericka, all these news articles say that Florida people are in poverty and broke. Then you're living below average in Florida. That's what that means. Georgia, $500,000. Average income of all fire earners, $74,000. Now y'all know that's high for Georgia. You know Hawaii's high. Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas. How far did I get to Texas? Come on. Maine's pretty low. Maryland's pretty high. Let's see. And North Carolina, come on, North Carolina. All right, $70,000 is average. Okay, 453,000. Let me get to Texas and go and skip all these. South Carolina, you don't need no money. Tennessee, okay, Texas. Yeah, yeah, I made it. Yeah, the average is 81,000. Yeah, Texas remains one of the average highest. Top 1% wealthiest of all states. Yeah, if you own probably 5 rentals, you still could get this on paper. You could beat this on paper, depending on some things. But go look at this up for yourself. Don't take my word on it. Go look it up. Ericka, stop calling out our neighborhood rides, golf carts. They're trail masters or poets. Our tours are better. They are. That's what I'm saying. Yep. GAS. Yep. All this stuff. God, y'all got a lot of stuff in here I missed. But no, you straight. You straight. I'm just saying. I'm just showing it. Mojo. I have a whole course on tax liens. You can feel free to grab the course. We're not going to do a whole show on it right now. And you can go into my YouTube catalog and hit search tax liens and go watch my old videos. The first thing people say, well, is that old video still valid? Yep, baby, still is. Okay, so what else? Is there other positions other than being at the White House? There you go. There's no ownership in that. Let me see if I can pull this thing up real quick for y'all. I'm gonna go out of here. Pretty much. Right? Isn't she genius? That's a genius idea. She was pretty smart. And she stays in her bracket of folks. Let me see. I'll pull this up. Um, this is why y'all can't like I can't hear the I don't want to own thing rhetoric. Let me show y'all this. I was looking for properties near this other place. This is 45 acres near Robinson County, North Carolina, near Fayetteville, Fort Bragg, like less than 30 minutes. 45 acres for 159,000, y'all. Nothing like that's why I can't listen to and this is you're surrounded by farmland, but and you got the roads all over you. But this is why I can't. When people tell me about something in New York or somewhere over here or there, I just be like, why? You don't have no leverage. You don't have no long term growth. You don't have no opportunities when you do that. It don't make sense to me. It don't make math sense. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a G wagon. Like this girl literally said she was watching people. She was in the pandemic at her house thinking about buying a G wagon, and she said, "Where was I gonna go? I don't do nothing but be on this internet." Like that's what you got to realize. People are watching this stuff so badly that they're like, "Oh, I want a G wagon for what?" Wow, he made $20 million in metaverse. It's crazy. It's crazy. Big Sean, tell him asset millionaires. And people try to talk smack about asset millionaires, but same thing with the trucking. What I learned a lot with the trucking is a lot of those guys were getting with the loans they were getting, right? They got all these trucks and they're doing all this stuff. It's the loans. They were getting big loans because the property size. So let me show y'all something real quick. See if I can find one real quick to show y'all. And if you're in any of my courses, you've actually seen me break this down a little bit. I'll probably break it down for rise of 20% again. Yeah, here we go. Share my screen real quick. And then we'll wrap it up because I've been on here for a minute. My family flies in Friday, so I gotta act like I'm cooking. So okay, you see this right here? 4-bedroom, 4.5 bath. Right, it's new construction. Let's go back. Let's pull you up one. Right, so this is a condo for $285. You know how much people rent those a week for? Now, I don't want a condo. If you're gonna spend the money, go ahead and get you a whole house. But think about a person that doesn't have a bunch of family, doesn't have a bunch of friends. They don't want to spend $5,000 for the week, but they'll spend how much, y'all? Think about it. A hotel will be $200 to $400 a night, right? So instead, they get one of these places. It's usually $1,000 to $1,200 a week. Y'all do the math. Oh my God. Listen, go ahead and pull it up. Alaska they got a lot of I'm just telling you, they got a lot of excess men. My mom and my aunts were upstairs, and I went downstairs to go get our meal because they couldn't walk to your room because they couldn't do real service because of the pandemic. So I walked down there, I sit at the bar, and these men are like, like I was wanting to be like, okay, I gotta get out of here. Yep, they gotta go up, baby. They gotta go up. People are making money on YouTube selling courses. No, and I've told you, you said the same thing yesterday, and I broke it down that there's most people are affiliate marketers. You just come in here every day saying the same thing. So guess what? Time out for you. You get a timeout. Meet the breed loves. What's up? Meet the breed loves. Thank you, BP Warren, for the 99 super chat. You do. You in there. You in there. If you already have the real estate course, you in there, baby. We've been in here recording videos for this company to beat me up, making me finish this stuff. Yep, Japan have 100-year mortgages. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Especially in around DC, it's very nepotist, but you can keep your head down and still make more than 40K in due time. San Antonio's class, that's my whole problem. When people complain about nepotism, I'm like, so it's my fault your parents didn't build you nothing, right? It's again, this country is built on what can you provide for your kids. If you can't provide anything for your kids, then now your kid has to go out here and scratch something up. They just do. That's not my fault. That's not my fault. Y'all act like it's wrong for people to provide jobs for their own family first. I went to ECU and I remember kids that were goofing off. And I was like, man, they don't even care about getting no job after school. Come back hometown and realize they went to go work for their parents' insurance company. They already had a 50, 60K job set aside for them. And then they would make their son or daughter go to trainings. I mean, again, y'all, these people don't care. These people don't care. The name of the article, which one? I done got away from it. It's it basically is what's 1% in your state. Yep, get that travel nursing on. That digital real estate class is hella values for money, the best investment itself. I'm telling you, I still got 3 more live classes to do inside there, and we have videos we've been recording all week to put in there. I'm just telling you. The best board game preparing people for natural area is Monopoly. Take the cash, convert it into income, increasing assets, and repeat while diversifying. Holy smelly, I need more money. Yeah. As a minimum wage making 22-year-old, this is enlightening once I got off the discouragement. Yeah. Upstate New York has a ton of affordable housing. It really does. You can go an hour north of New York City and get cheap houses. So there you go. Congratulations, Trey Williams. Black Heights. Ericka, stop calling our neighborhood rides golf carts. They're Trailmasters or Polaris UTVs. Kamora Lee Simmons. All her baby daddies are rich. Listen, I'm telling y'all. Proximity matters more than you think, y'all. It really does. And when people say, oh, why are you in Austin? Austin's so white. Austin. Honey, I run into black tech people every single day I'm out here. I don't know where y'all getting that from. I run into black real. There's a guy. Ooh, what's his name? If I can find him, I'm gonna share it on the community page because I got to get out of here. But essentially, he is young. He's 27. He literally came to Austin, started wholesaling, started calling around. This dude is a millionaire now. He done did about 500 deals in a 4-year period. That's why. That's what I'm telling you. Hotels off of all that area I just showed you are $400 a night. So why would I pay $400 a night when I can get this place for a whole week? Why would I do that? That don't make sense. Why the light going down? Hold on. Let me see. I pull it up. Right. So this one's pending. Look how big this is. Right. Let me show you inside. You know, your family has space. You're not all on top of each other. Bright colors. Elevators. If you're in my Rise to 20% class, the key difference is putting a $6,000 elevator in these bad boys. It'll make you all the money because elderly people will book it. You know, grandpa and grandma, we got to get them in here, and they don't have to be stuck on the first floor. So just food for thought. We'll have deeper conversations on this stuff. I can't cover everything in here, so thank you. Anyway, but listen, you guys have been amazing. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for supporting the channel. It's 520 people here. Hit the like button if you can. And my name is Ericka Williams of the Classy Climb blog. I've been YouTubing for 7 years now, plus, I think. We're going through some amazing changes for 2022. We're partnered with some really great companies. We have really great sponsors and people on the page that we have coming up. We've got Rochelle coming up teaching about trades. We've got more Tech Tuesdays in the future. You know, I may not do as many lives anymore in January and February and March, but we will have some pre-recorded great stuff for you guys. And we will have a lot of good stuff. So if you want to catch me live, you want to talk more with me, it's going to be inside the classes. January's cohort for the coaching group starts, like, I think the second week of January. The people in the last cohort right now, we're finishing up the last cohort. We're going to put the rest of the remainder information inside there. But yeah, I want you to understand, like, it's going to be pretty lit next year. And I'm still confident about the partnership I made because it's going to allow me to have more time for me in my private life and to let a good staff run the customer service and also run the behind the scenes stuff. Because I know you guys love talking to Enrique, but we need some more help on the staff. So thank you, this is your girl Ericka, Classy Climb blog. It's been real. Have a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving.